Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel, Sister Sisters. So today, Jessie and I just wanted to talk about our daily regimen, what we do to take care of ourselves every day with our cystic fibrosis, getting into the breathing treatments, the amount of medications we take, and how long it takes us to do this, and how consuming it is for our day. And we also wanted to talk about where we're at in life, what our quality of life is. So Jessie, why don't you go ahead and tell them where you're at right now?
Well, first of all, clinically, we both have obsessive compulsive disorder. So our treatment regimen is very strict. We do not miss it. And hopefully this video is kind of entertaining. It might be boring to some people, hopefully.
But I don't really think it will be, because I think it's going to be really interesting to learn about how much we actually have to do.
We take a shit ton of medication, so we'll start off like that.
And I really think you're going to be amazed at how the hell we fit all this into our day. Like, I've gotten to the point where I am so good at multitasking to where I'm doing my hair and makeup, getting ready for work with a nebulizer in my mouth or a vest on me at the same time. So there's a lot of juggling, and let's just dive right into it. So before we get into all the medications, let Jessie talk about where she's at right now.
So right now my FEV1 is at 54%, so I'm working with 54% lung function, which isn't the greatest. Currently I just finished up 3 weeks of antibiotics, and that was to treat my MRSA infection and also aspergillus in the lungs. As you can see, I do have a port, and that was put in October or September, I think September, and that just makes it a lot easier for when I go on IV medications. I don't have to be admitted into the hospital. I can just have a nurse come out, access me, and I do all my IV treatments from home. So that's where I am currently. I have a cystic fibrosis appointment tomorrow, and normally it's about every 3 months that you go in, excuse me, and you meet with a nutritionist, a respiratory therapist, a doctor, a social worker. Am I missing anybody?
No, I think that's everybody.
I think that's everybody. Well, it's a lot to take in, and you just kind of go over your daily life, how you're feeling mentally, physically, things like that. I've been a lot healthier than last year. Last year I spent at least almost like 3 months in the hospital.
Yeah.
With bowel obstructions and lung infections. So as of this year, I've been doing really well. So how are you?
So as far as me, I would say this past year has been a little tricky for me. So I was fortunate enough to where until I turned 21, my CF wasn't a huge problem. It was mainly I just had stomach issues. I had to have a lot of abdominal surgeries, but it was like once I turned 21, my lungs finally took the back seat.
I think that's true for all three of us, actually. We lived really normal lives up until we probably hit our late teens.
Yeah, like I don't really remember. I mean, we did our treatments, and our mom always did chest PTs on us,
but we were not diligent at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was nothing like it is now. Like, I could never skip a treatment if I wanted to. If I do, then joke's on me. I'm not going to be able to breathe. It's
you feel like you're just suffocating.
Yeah, it's literally in the morning. It starts off as like an hour-long coughing fit, and the feeling like someone's been sitting on your chest all night. So it's just not an option. But anyways, so right now, I've been sick a lot the past few years, I would say, but I've had about 8 PICC lines now. Geez, in the last like 3 years, I never had one PICC line until I turned 21. I was extremely, extremely fortunate. But for me, my body's very weird. I remember my old doctor, my old clinic, she told me I have some type of gene modifier in my body, basically meaning no matter how sick that my body get and how hard my lungs fight, I remain really good with my lung function. Like, I just did my last lung function testing, and it was at 100%.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how that happens, because I feel like shit almost all the time, and I'm constantly on medications, steroids, things like that. And me, currently, I always culture staph, which is pretty common with CF. Yeah. I culture Stenotrophomonas.
Oh, I have that one too as well.
Yeah, which I was told it's like a cousin of Pseudomonas, which is another really tricky CF bug to have. And also, I did culture something, it was called Mycobacterium avium complex, which that one, a lot more detailed, and I won't get too crazy with that, but basically, I had it, they found it on my 21st birthday, and they decided to treat it about a year and a half ago. So it was about, a year and a half straight of oral medications that literally mentally and physically tested me in every way possible. But having that germ in my body, I had absolutely no strength. no
You
energy.
lived in the bathroom.
Yeah, lived in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And my husband would say, he's like, you would sleep 12 hours a day, and then it just took everything in me just to crawl to the couch and lay back down there.
I mean,
so.
our regimens are very harsh on our bodies, and they take a toll
Yes.
on our bodies. So basically, it's just outweighing the good and the bad.
Yeah. And I mean, there have been plenty of times where I've had PICC lines and working as a hairdresser, I'll still do it. So my clients will kind of laugh, not making fun of me, but they're just like, wow, how are you still doing this while you're infusing IVs? It's like, you just do it. Sometimes sitting at home doesn't make it any better. Sometimes you have way too much time on your hands to think about it.
Yeah,
So,
when I had my port access last week, I was infusing and doing like a full cardio workout. I'm like,
yeah.
It's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
But this is what we do to stay healthy.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like baseline where we are, but we're kind of going to go over our medications.
Yeah.
So,
But as of right now, so I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I have good lung function. Sick a lot. We're trying to narrow down, what could be the causing factors. But anyways, we're going to get into the medications so we don't make this video too long. For
yeah,
you
we don't
guys.
want to bore you, but we want to educate you. So that's what's really important. So, like I said, we are strict. So this is how we do this every day. And
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
Ideally 3, but
yeah,
who
I have
really
a
has that
toddler,
kind
so
of
there's
time?
no way in hell I can do it 3 times a day. I
And-
can barely get it in twice.
Exactly.
So the first thing we do when we get up is we do albuterol, and this opens up our lungs. We do this in the nebulizer. Depending on which nebulizer you have, it can take 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Mine's usually 10. So this opens up the airways.
Yeah, and for me, I actually have to do 3 in a row of those morning and nighttime, just because for me, I have a lot of asthmatic components with my CF.
Yeah.
So sometimes one albuterol, which can make normal people feel really jittery, I need 3 to really open up my airways.
I'm good with 1. So
Yeah.
next step, we go to sodium chloride. That's
Sodium-
inhaled in the nebulizer as well. And this produces a cough.
Yes, this basically forces the salt into our lungs, and for me personally, I feel like it really hydrates my lungs. It's very irritating, it makes you cough, but honestly, that's the only way I can describe it, because that's what it is. I mean, we don't...
Basically, it's there to make you... Yeah, well, and it's there to make you cough.
Yeah.
From there, we usually start our vest.
Yes.
So, the vest, I don't know if we have to hook it all up, but
Yeah.
the vest is this. Obviously, it's purple for CF.
Yep.
So, as you can see, you hook up.
And tubes go right in here, and there's a large pump that fills this vest with air and shakes and causes vibrations all throughout your rib cage, around your lungs, making it easier for you to cough and expel the mucus out of your body.
So when this is on, we usually do it for about 30 minutes, and we go on with our next nebulizer at the exact same time. So the next one is?
This one is called Dornase or Pulmozyme. So this is an inhaled medication through the nebulizer. After we've done the other medications, this just helps kind of cut through the thick mucus that we do have. This one is a must.
Yeah,
absolute must, because I have felt the difference to where
if you miss this, you'll feel like crap for weeks.
Yeah, when I was out of this medication, I mean, you notice it. So.
Yes. So by the end of that, what they like you to do is a huff cough, which you're kind of supposed to do in between the vest. Basically, you force yourself to cough.
Yeah, so it's just and making yourself cough.
And usually that's
a little tricky to do.
Well, it ends up like it doesn't start just a little cough. You get to the point where you're...
I'm surprised that didn't cause a huge coughing fit, because I felt...
You get a coughing fit, and then you piss your pants. That's the beauty. I mean, that's what we have to deal with.
Yes. In your 20s, you have to worry about peeing your pants with CF. It's a real thing, and accordingly.
Okay, so after that is done, we go to... are these inhaled corticosteroids?
Yeah. Okay. So these are steroid inhalers that we use. So my sister Jess, so she uses Symbicort. Is this the only one that you use?
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I use something, it looks a lot like these, just a different color. I use Symbicort, then Spiriva, and then Flovent. So that's 6 puffs, another twice a day that I have to do after doing about 2 hours of all these breathing treatments and nebulizers. So.
And the thing with these is you have to rinse your mouth out after them, because if you don't,
you get thrush.
Yes.
AKA it's furry tongue.
Basically a yeast infection in your mouth. How attractive is that to have?
Yeah. It's not fun.
No.
So don't do it. You'll learn the first time to rinse your mouth.
Yeah.
So then going into our enzymes. So these are the medication. I know, it's like this is never ending. I'm sorry, we'll keep this short.
Yeah.
So moving on. These are our enzymes. So our body is not able to break down the nutrients
And the fat.
on our own. Because basically, if we just eat something and don't take any medication, not to be TMI, but it's just nothing gets digested, so it's just diarrhea and you're miserable. So
you feel like you have the stomach flu.
Yeah,
and that's like that's missing even like a snack. So say you have an ice cream cone.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna pay for that ice cream cone for the next 3-4 days.
So just so you can see, and I just dropped one. Yeah. So they kind of look like this. So they're little plastic tube-like things with beads in them. So you swallow
capsules, if you will.
Capsules, if you will. So you swallow those, they dissolve, and then you get the enzyme to help with that. So for me, I take 7 with meals, 3 with snacks. Yes, that includes even a glass of milk. Anything with fat, you need pills.
Yes. So next we do beautiful ibuprofen.
A CFer's best friend.
It is your best friend.
And also your worst enemy, because it is not kind to your kidneys.
No,
along
but we
with all
need
the
it to
other
live.
meds. Yes.
Yeah. Some people take ibuprofen all day, I guess.
Yes. Now, what
This
is this?
one is, it's basically Prevacid. I don't know why it's in a melty tablet. I can take pills, so.
Yeah.
That's obviously for heartburn, but we also have GERD, which is, what is it?
I don't know what it stands for.
Gastroenteritis is something. But it hurts.
So
it
gastro
burns.
problems. So especially with CF, when you have a lot of heartburn too, that definitely affects your lungs. So all that acidity is basically going down into your lungs. So
and it's dangerous.
Yeah, and me personally, I get a lot of heartburn at night, which leads to a lot of wheeziness and coughing in the morning. Then we get to our handy dandy soft gel vitamins, which these I get directly from my CF clinic. They have vitamin A, B, D, E, K, and zinc. So this is just the extra good stuff that we need with our CF, because just coughing alone, I mean, we lose a lot of calories. It's a lot on our body. Or being sick and all the toxic medications, our body needs to be replenished. So these are also a must.
Okay. Oh, there's more pills before that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we don't want to bore you with pills.
Yeah, I know, but this is real life. This is what we have to do. So Benadryl is my best friend. Some CFers use it, some don't.
Yeah.
I use this to sleep because if I don't take it, I will not sleep. So I take about 3 of these a night, 3-4 a night.
Yeah.
And that just helps with some of our CF is asthmatic anyway, so that kind of helps out.
Yeah.
Next, Luvox. Luvox is an antidepressant because, yes, I have depression, and it treats obsessive compulsive disorder. So yeah, I was not kidding when I said that we were diagnosed with that.
And I would take, what is it called? What is it called? I can't remember. Starts with an L. Lexapro. There we go. So I don't know why that was hard for me to remember. Yeah, so I take Lexapro as well. So I have to say, and you know what, don't ever feel embarrassed about having to take pills. It's like, listen, we're living with a chronic illness. This causes so much fear, so much anxiety.
It does. And it's a lot to handle.
It's a lot to handle. So I will say I've been in therapy for 2 years. It has helped me immensely. And yes, this medication has helped just take the edge off, and I can breathe a little bit better emotionally, not just physically.
Most chronically ill people deal with mental illness.
Deal with depression, yes.
Next is nasal spray, which is basically like Nasacort or Flonase. I think it's Flonase. And this is because with cystic fibrosis, a lot of the times it affects our sinuses. So this is to help treat our sinuses.
Yeah. How many surgeries have you had for your sinuses?
3 or 4.
Yeah, and I have had 3. So basically, you get a lot of polyps in your sinuses, and they really have to, not to be gross, but kind of scrape out all the gunk as well. And because
that's what makes you sick. A lot of the time, every few years, you kind of have to go in and get this done.
Yeah.
Because you will just have tons of pus and infected tissue all in here. So
that all just seeps right down to your lungs. So another thing too, which I know many of non-CFers use, the beloved neti pot.
Well, so is it called?
The sinus rinse, but it's called the neti pot.
Yeah.
So this is just something that you use. Sister's not going to use it, but you fill it with water and put the saline solution in, squeeze it up your nose, cleans out each side. That one, I was always against this little apparatus, but now I have to use it. I don't love it, but it does make a difference because, again, it's clearing everything out.
Is that everything? Oh, then we have Mucinex. And this is kind of like a newer treatment because my other clinic was very against using this, and my new clinic tells me to use it. So obviously this is just to help break up the ridiculous amount of mucus that we have.
Just something to take the edge off the amount of mucus we have.
And you can tell, we have like smoker lung talking here.
Yeah, because it's funny, a lot of times I go into work like, are you okay? Your voice is really raspy. It's like, no, just my perpetual voice. It's the years of coughing and being congested kind of keep you that way. But sorry this video got a little long and ahead of ourselves. But yeah, we just wanted to kind of just give you a review of what we do, what our regimen is, why we have to do everything. So yeah.
And it's important to know how much time and effort we put into this. Like,
so what do we call it? Let's just say about 6 hours a day of breathing treatments that we have to do.
Yes, but that doesn't include if you're on IV therapy, which can up it to another 6 hours.
Yes, and I'm sure we will have a video at some point where one of us is hooked up again and needs to be IVs, and we can kind of go from there. But this is real stuff. So, I mean, just, you think about it. Just getting up, your alarm goes off, you get up, you go have breakfast, you take a shower, you go to work. Not so. With us, it's like I have to wake up like 2 hours earlier, do these treatments, shower, do everything else, and go to work and try to get through my day and not do another treatment.
Well, and what else sucks is, like, we're young, we like to go out, we like to have fun, and then you have to constantly be like, oh, well, I got to get home so I can just sit, you know, plugged into a wall for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because if we, like I said, if we miss it, it's detrimental, and it definitely affects us the next day.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes you kind of just have to say, not say screw it so much, but yeah, do your treatments. But my biggest thing, especially to you guys out there who have CF, don't let it define you. If you have a night out that you want to go out with your friends, go enjoy yourself. Don't be like, oh my gosh, I need to rush home and get my treatments
Which
done.
we're learning to do.
They're not going anywhere. You can still do them when you get home. And that's something that I've had to learn myself. Like, enjoy the day. Life is too short. The treatments aren't going anywhere. But I will say, even with the hardships, Jesse and I are doing really well. But yeah, we just kind of wanted to bring you into our daily routine and where we're at. And
it may be boring as hell, but this is what we have to do to survive.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for others to know what we have to go through. So
yeah. And thank you guys so much for watching, and we will have another video for you next week.
All right.
See you later.